Today, I'm making pork rib stew with sage cornmeal dumplings. It's going to be very good, so let's get started on Darlene's table. All right, I'm going to put several tablespoons of oil in here, and I've got 3 pounds of the pork rib, cut in chunks, boneless pork rib. I'm going to brown all sides. I want it crusty. That gives so much flavor to this dish. I'm going to do this in batches. Don't crowd it because all you'll get is a lot of moisture. You won't get a good browning. Now the meat is all browned, and I'm going to continue with the onions and garlic. Cook this until it's translucent. Try to gather up some of those brown bits. The garlic. Now I'm going to add, salt, pepper, nutmeg, and marjoram, and chili powder. Add this to the onions. Stir it up. Really get those spices where you can smell them. Now we're going to add 2 quarts of water. And beef bouillon granules. And fresh thyme. Tie it with a piece of baker's twine. I also added the bay leaves. Later, you can just pick up that twine and the leaves just fall off the stems. Makes it so easy. Now back in with the meat, and we're going to bring this up to a simmer and cover it. I'm going to cook it for about 2 hours and let that meat get really tender. All right, it's been 2 hours. I'm removing. See, that's time. All the leaves were off. We're going to remove the bay leaves. And I'm going to skim the fat off the top. A lot of excess fat here from that pork. Now it's back to a good simmer. I'm going to add the carrots. And potatoes, and this will cook for about another 20 minutes once it comes to a simmer with the lid on. In the meantime, I'm going to make the sage cornmeal dumplings. I'm going to sift the flour, add the cornmeal, add the sage. Now, I'll rub it in your hands and really break it up. Now add the sugar, baking powder, and salt. All right, we're going to mix this well. All those dry ingredients, make sure they're blended well. And I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of shortening. I use Crisco. And I'm going to mix this together much like I do my pie crust. I'm going to get the Crisco all mixed up with my hands. Don't put a lot of friction, but that'll break it up. Now, it called for a cup of milk. I could see right away that was going to be too much. I started with a 1/2 cup, and that's all that I added. You'll see the dumplings are perfect. I did change the recipe to reflect just 1/2 cup of milk. Now we're at a good simmer, everything's tender, and we're going to drop by teaspoonfuls these dumplings. These dumplings were so good that I made them for other dishes, other soups, another stew, any type of hearty stew, and these are so good on there. They're not doughy and gummy at all. They're so good. You'll see in a minute. I'll break one open, and it looks more like bread, but they held together so well, and the taste was fantastic. If you like the content of this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. So I removed all the dumplings so that I can add them back to the bowl and pour stew over them for each serving. My husband absolutely loved these, as did I, and my neighbors, because there was plenty here to share. Pork rib stew with sage cornmeal dumplings. It's not stew weather here, but it is somewhere in this world, and you can't beat a good pork rib stew any time of the year, really. Pork is king for sure, but the real star of this dish is the Sage Cornmeal Dumplings. Oh my goodness, they were awesome. You need this recipe just for the dumplings. I'm telling you, from time to time, I dream about these little darlings. I'm serious. I want you to give this recipe a try, and please tell me what you think about the dumplings. Of course, you can find this recipe on my new and improved website, darlingstable.com. Remember to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. And come back to see me soon, right here on Darlene's Table.